Today, Precarious plays
Samurai Legend Musashi. I wasn't allowed to play them during the week, like during the school week. I could only play video games at home on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or on holidays or whatever. And I could only play my Game Boy on weekends, because that's all I had at my house.
Oh, so that's why you were such a Game Boy kid.
Yeah. So the only time I could play N64 titles was when I was at my great-grandparents' house after school. Which is why I mostly only remember my great-grandparents' house from the age of, I'm not kidding, from 6 to 10.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, that's all I remember of my childhood, because that's where video games were.
So you just hung out there, played video games, and that's one funny thing. You can remember what was happening in your life based on what game you were playing. That's a fun Rosma fact.
Yeah.
You know.
Good and bad and sad and happy, all of those things.
You can say what game you were playing when those things were occurring, and thus kind of date your memories that way. Some people will do that with school grades. They'll be like, okay, when did this happen? I think I was in 8th grade, so I guess I was 13, and so it would have been such and such a year, but you're like, okay, I think I was playing Harvest Moon 64, so then I must have been in this grade, this old, etc. That's your starting...
Cat Sensei taught me what Whirlwind is supposed to be for.
What is it for? Oh, are you in the hurl?
No, this enemy is.
Oh.
And as soon as it runs out, he falls on the button.
That is so cool!
It's alright.
No, but okay, look. We've got to give this game credit anytime it does something cool and smart.
Yeah.
Because...
just peculiar how...
because it deserves it.
Mm-hmm. It took a really long time to use that. Although I think there was a button earlier. There was one of these earlier, and I guess maybe if I would have just known it then, I could have done a thing early.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so...
In the dark times,
I didn't get to play very many video games, and as soon as I was at whatever arbitrary age, I think... I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that, the day I turned 18, my mom was like, do whatever you want to. Not my problem anymore. So I just started playing video games all the time. All the time. Just to make up for the years where I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And have just... Not stopped.
You were just like, God, I could be playing video games right now. Just for so long that... by the time you were allowed to, it was just like, oh, I can play video games right now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and now, and also now, and also now, and now, and still. And then you've just been
I'm a barely functional member of society. It's a real problem, and I know that's funny to hear, but it's pretty close to true.
Pretty close to being
most of the stuff I do in life, it's just so I can play more different video games. Oops.
Oh.
I thought I was gonna make it up here in time. Okay. But really, it is mostly just so I can play more different video games. I mean, it's just...
there's just infinite variety available to you in this digital realm,
Yeah. I really do think that it is just it is the most engaging medium that we have right now.
It engages a lot of senses. I mean, let me tell you. I mean, there's a reason why they don't call... most of the time, game designer is hard to place what skills you need.
Yeah.
Because you need all of them. All. You need, just all. I mean, you could be a really great painter, but that's not enough. And you could know quite a bit about music and sound design, but that's not enough. And you could know quite a bit about programming, and that's not enough. And you could know a lot about 3D modeling, and that's not enough. I mean, all of those subjects, storytelling in general, writing, script writing, that's not enough. I mean, you could know...
You have to be a truly remarkable individual to make a really comprehensive, really complete game all on your lonesome.
Yeah.
Which is why, like,
well,
we've got, I think, like 2 people recently that did that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Concerned Ape, who made Stardew Valley, I think he made basically everything on his own. And I know Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale, he had help with some of the sprite art, which is where, oh geez. Oh no, Temmie. That's where Timmy, yeah, that's where Timmy comes from.
Yeah.
But, a lot of that was just one person.
Yeah, well, and even if you have a lot of skills, even if you have a good portion, like, let's say you got 3 of the 50,000 skills that you need, just being able to identify the people you need or the team that you need to put together in order to make something like this happen, even at this level of not being the best game ever.
Yeah.
It's a skill on its own.
Right. You know what? I forgot. That's the whole point I wanted to make earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Just making a competent game is worthy of praise.
Yeah, like, this game is like, good job. You did it.
Just making a game that isn't just a bug-riddled mess is worthy of praise sometimes. I think that on the internet where, you know, normally people use like a lot of hyperbole and the phrase like worst thing ever gets used pretty often.
Yeah, it's used so often it's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah. So that it's just not true. I think that people lose sight of. I feel like people should have to be subjected to something really, really like not good every now and again, you know?
Like
something cathartically bad.
Yeah, cathartically bad. Like, isn't there a movie called The Room?
Yeah.
That is like that for cinema people?
I think. It resets everything to 0,
Yeah.
I feel.
I wonder if they're like, I want to know like what other people's favorite like cathartically bad video game is. Like, because I don't have one that I can think of, because normally if it's bad, I don't even, like, I can't even deal with it. Like, it loses me so quickly that I might as well have looked at the box art and then decided against it. Like, cover this shit's purple, fuck that. You know, like, this day of the week not playing the purple game. You know? So, do you have, like, a cathartically bad game that you like to go back to? I know you have, like, graphical palette cleansers, aka Dwarf Fortress, but, like,
yes.
Are there games that you like to play when you're trying to remember what a miracle just about every decent game is?
Whew, that's a tough one. Do I have enough time?
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, so the obvious one is Sonic Heroes. Yeah, anytime I just want to experience a bad game, I'll play Sonic Heroes to remind myself of what a good game is, right?
Mm-hmm. How lucky we all are.
Whenever I want to play a bad game that I still really like, just to remind myself that a game doesn't it's a tool to remind me of that feeling of sticking up for something that isn't very good. And why people do that. Why do people defend 3D Sonic games, even though you can look at them and you can analyze them and you can pick out their flaws and be like, wow, that's a huge list of flaws and not a list of positives, you know? Mm-hmm. My game for that is Magic Pingle, The Quest for Color. Which is a game which is awful. It is really bad, but boy, I love it.
You love it?
It's so sweet.
I
stupid.
know pretty much nothing about that game.
One day it's gonna be on this show, I promise. I just need to figure out the structure because it's so bad that you can't just sit down and like play it through because it doesn't work.
You have to find a win condition before we can put it on the show.
No, hold on, I'm gonna pause the game for this one because I'm getting excited. What I'm planning on doing is actually starting multiple save files, like have one at the beginning of the game so people can see what it's like at the beginning, one at the middle, and then one at the very end.
Yeah.
And to just be like, we're gonna do 10 episodes of this shit.
Just so that you can see it.
Just so you can see it and you can get an idea of what it's like in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of it is grinding for colors, for pigment.
So you're actually like questing for color?
Yes, but I can't say any more. I've already said too much.
Okay, all right.